is going on, you guys? We have reached the end of May, therefore this is going to be the final video for the month of anime. Personally, I think it's crazy how fast this anime month has gone by. I mean, it feels just like yesterday that I started making videos for anime, specifically. I mean, the very first video I did was the top 5 anime for people to get into. Then I talked about anime villains, then I talked about how Yu-Gi-Oh cards screwed the rules. And for this video, I feel like, to go full circle, that I've talked about anime villains, I'm gonna talk about the top 5 anime heroes. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first major hero of the anime series I want to talk about is from the anime Fairy Tail, and that is Natsu Dragneel. Natsu is probably one of the coolest characters in Fairy Tail. I mean, not only was he this wizard that was raised by the dragon Igneel, so he's what's known as a dragon slayer wizard. So he can use these, he was raised by the fire dragon, so he uses all these different fire dragon techniques, like fire dragon roar, fire dragon rupture, things like that. The fact that he can eat fire and just be dope with whatever he does, it's what I love about him. I still haven't finished every episode of Fairy Tail. I think I'm on like episode 105 or something like that. And then I have Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest that I need to watch, which I'm really excited for because Fairy Tail's amazing. But there are so many Natsu Fairy Tail moments that I love. I mean, it's because of Natsu that Lucy was able to join Fairy Tail. He's the one that brought her to the guild. Seeing Natsu fight all these guards and running away with Lucy, taking her to the Fairy Tail guild in the very first episode. That's something you gotta love. Also, he has so many great comedic moments. Like, there's this one episode where Lucy's falling from this tower. She has 100% faith in Natsu that he's gonna catch her, which he ends up doing, but he ends up face planting straight into her boobs as he catches her, which got a good laugh out of me. Also, he has great fight moments, like between Gray when they get to the Fairy Tail Guild. Like, him and Gray may be friends, but they're arch enemies in battle too, so seeing them fight is great. Just see the entire tavern of Fairy Tail, them get into these spars. It's awesome, especially when Natsu's involved. Like, there's this part where Natsu's fighting Gray, and Gray goes flying, and Natsu is like twirling Gray's underwear on his finger. and Gray's just like, "Give me back my underwear, you jerk!" And Gray just ends up asking Lucy if he can borrow her underwear. And Lucy just like, "No, you pervert!" And she smacks Gray away. It's great. Natsu also has great fighting moments when he fights Gildartz. Like, he goes on this mission to be an S-class wizard, and he chooses the path, like, the first couple wizards to get to this crossroads. Whatever path they choose leads to an S-class wizard already that they have to fight. And the path that Natsu chooses leads to Gildartz, and their fight is great. Not only are they super strong in fighting each other, going head to head, but there's this one part where Gildartz uses this magic, and he thinks he destroys Natsu, but when Happy looks up to the top of the cave, all these little mini Natsus come raining down. And they're like, "Alright, now that we've made this mini, I can kick Gildartz's butt! Let's go!" And they all start attacking Gildartz. You got Gildartz swiping at them. It's great to see. Anyway, the reason why Natsu takes number 5 is just, even though he's a great fighter and he wants to be stronger himself, he's not this totally selfish anime hero that some of anime's heroes can be when they just do things for their own accord. He does care for everyone in Fairy Tail. He considers everyone in Fairy Tail his friends, even though they may be jerks. He considers them his friends. So Natsu, he not only is a great fighter, he has a big heart. He's a big softie. I love Natsu for just the way he is and being a great fighter. He takes number 5. Taking number 4 on my list is the character from Demon Slayer, Inosuke Hashibara. Inosuke is probably one of the most interesting characters I should say of Demon Slayer. Just the way he's introduced into the series has got to be one of the most creative ways I've seen an anime introduce a character. It's when Tanjiro and Zenitsu first meet up. They go to this house of the drumming demon. That's when they run into Inosuke, and Inosuke, he's like, I smell a demon close by. And he talks to Zenitsu at this point. He's like, you boy, you're carrying a demon in that box. Let me kill it. And Zenitsu's like, no, Tanjiro said this was the most precious thing in the world to him. I won't let you destroy whatever's in it. And so we got Zenitsu and Inosuke. They're just like, well, mostly Inosuke's just beating up on Zenitsu. He's like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And finally Tanjiro comes in, and we got this fight between Tanjiro and Inosuke, which is pretty fun to see. It ends up with Tanjiro headbutting Inosuke and just giving him this giant goose egg, which is pretty great. But with the fight with Tanjiro and Inosuke and Inosuke's introduction, it's a pretty dope intro for Inosuke. What I love about Inosuke is his fighting spirit overall. I mean, he's always trying to find ways that he can make up some excuses that he can be stronger than others, so he can outrank them to be stronger than them. I also love that he's always messing up Tanjiro's name. Like, there's a part when he's going down the forest, and Tanjiro says his name's Tanjiro Kamado, and Inosuke's like, alright, compadre Giaboku. And Tanjiro's just like, who the hell are you talking about? I love it, and Zenitsu's like, will you both shut up? It's pretty great. Inosuke does have some great moments in fighting his own. He shows himself that he can hold his own in a fight. Like when they go up into the Spider Mountain, which is probably the best arc in the first season of Demon Slayer. It's dark, it's creepy, it's just great. Anyway, Inosuke fights this giant spider that's the father of this clan, and he's just this creepy giant creature-like thing. And the way that Inosuke fights him, using the blades to saw through the spider's limbs, it's crazy. It is super cool. Just the way that Inosuke has his own version of fighting, you gotta love it. He's also great in fighting with teamwork too. In the entertainment district, like when he teams up with Zenitsu to take on Daki, and they're able to decapitate her, and there's this one scene which is terrifying, because once they decapitate her, Inosuke grabs Daki's head and he's running, and then out of nowhere he gets the scythe through his chest. So when I first saw that, I'm like, oh!
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Because I thought they were gonna kill Inosuke off in season 2, which would have broken my heart. But fortunately they came up with this whole thing, like Inosuke can shift his organs around, so Gyutaro didn't pierce Inosuke's heart, which is a good thing. But I also love that Inosuke, he cares about his comrades. Like, it stinks that in To the Swordsmith Village, he's only in like the first episode for like 5 minutes when he's hanging on the ceiling to check in on Inosuke. But yeah, other than that, he's a great character. He looks out for his friends. He's an amazing fighter, both solo and teamwork. He's great at fighting. He has a big heart for his comrades. And so, that's why I gotta give it number 4. The next character that I want to talk about is from Attack on Titan. That is Levi Ackerman. Levi Ackerman definitely deserves to be on this list. Definitely in the top 3, which is why he takes number 3. But the reason that I love Levi so much is just the way that his character is. Like how his character, even though Levi's like 40 years old, how his character develops through the story is still really cool to see. Like as a kid and through his 20s, Levi grew up in the underground city, which is why he's like a clean freak. Like through the entire story, he'll be stopping to clean up. Like even when he's first introduced, killing Titans, like he'll kill this one Titan, and then he'll look at his sword, and it's like the handle and the blade's all bloody, and he's like, disgusting. And he'll just stop and start cleaning it. But it's just the way that he fights in battle, and just the way that he cares for his comrades. That is like an immediate attraction to liking the character from the story of Attack on Titan. There is one character that obviously has bad blood between her and Levi. I'm talking about Mikasa, just because when, before they even knew each other, and Eren was on court, whether he was going to be executed or not, there's that scene we got where the scouts are playing their trump card into keeping Eren alive and being recruited into the scouts, where Levi just starts beating the shit out of Eren, and Mikasa is going to stop Levi, but Armin holds Mikasa back, and you can still tell that the two don't like each other as the story goes on, but their dislike for each other isn't as strong as it was before, since they get to know each other a lot better as the story goes on. But it's pretty funny that through like the first season there's bad blood between them, because when the scouts go on their survey thing and they're heading back to Shiganshina to find out what's in the basement of Eren's house, and they go into the giant forest, and the female Titan, like, she's captured Eren, and Mikasa's going after the female Titan. That is like the one of the most dopest scenes from season 1, because we got both Mikasa and Levi working together to take her down. We get to see Levi's amazing swordplay, how fast he is as he's cutting up Annie in her female Titan form, and she opens up her mouth and Mikasa goes to grab Eren, and Levi pushes Mikasa out of the way. If he didn't do that, he most likely, Mikasa probably would have been killed by Annie at that point. But it's pretty great because the two Ackermans, being such a badass swords people, they're able to save Eren, even though Levi does come away from a broken ankle from it. It's still a pretty badass moment of season 1 of the anime. It's great. Levi isn't really in season 2 that much, just because he's healing from his broken ankle. But in season 3, we get more badass moments. Like, there's an entire, I think it's like in episode 2 of season 3, we get this moment where Levi is taking on Kenny, his uncle, and the Kenny squad, they're trying to kill Levi. So Levi is going through the streets of the city using his ODM gear, going Spider-Man-like style, doing everything he can to avoid them. It's pretty dope. The way that he's killing off Kenny's squad members and fighting Kenny in the end, I really love it. The animation to it is super dope. The camera work to it is really cool. You feel like you're alongside Levi going through the city with the ODM gear. It's pretty great. One of the most greatest moments Levi has in season 3. The other great moment that Levi has in season 3 is when he takes on Zeke. And that's when they're going to retake Shiganshina from the Titans, and they're doing the suicide charge. Zeke is like throwing all these boulders at the scouts, and at the end, Levi in the background has been cutting down all these Titans, and then finally he gets to the main boss, Zeke, which he takes down with no problem. I mean, he first blinds Zeke, then he takes out the limbs of Zeke, and then he's able to get Zeke out of the Titan form. But unfortunately, before he can kill Zeke, Pete grabs Zeke. They go back to Marley, and we don't get Levi's gratification kill until like the very last episode, the finale of Attack on Titan, which itself was pretty dope, because he realizes the error of his ways. He wants to help, so he willingly lets Levi cut his head off. But it's a great moment because Levi got his ability to fulfill his promise that he made to Erwin's like 5 years ago, being able to finally take down Zeke. It's pretty great. Anyway, Levi, Captain Levi of the Survey Corps, just an amazing character. I love him so much. He's a great fighter, a compassionate warrior. He really cares for people, and a little bit of a clean freak, but I can let that slide because he is super dope. Anyway, that is why he takes number 3. One of my favorite characters of Attack on Titan. Coming in at number 2 is the character from the anime Black Clover, which is Asta. Asta, he's maybe one of the main characters of the show, but he is 100% the comic relief. Asta, Black Clover is another anime that's about wizards, but in this one we have these 2 orphan kids, Yuno and Asta. And Yuno, he's born with these amazing powers, like anything he tries for the first time, automatically he's super good at, with the magic, with broom flying, with anything. And then you got Asta, who he has no magical powers at all, which kind of sets up the story of why I like Asta so much. I mean, both him and Yuno, they're doing their best to become the Wizard King of the kingdom of, I think it's called like Clover or something like that. Anyway, they both want to become the Wizard King to rule the land, to show that they're both these great people. And it's just no matter how many times Asta gets put down, no matter by his adopted family, they're saying like, "Oh, Asta, you gotta give up on this dream, bud. I mean, you got no magic. How can you possibly be the Wizard King when you have no magic? You can't be a wizard with no magic. What? Just give up." And Asta's just like, "No way! It's my dream to be the Wizard King, and no matter what, I am not giving up on that dream. My power is never giving up." So just, Asta's optimism is one of the biggest reasons why I love this character so much. As season 1 progresses, there comes this event where there's these different guilds, like there's the Gold Dawn, there's the Green Mantis, there's Black Bulls. There's all these different guild names, and they're having auditions for different people to join these guilds. And Asta and Yuno, they end up traveling to like this coliseum where these auditions are being held. And everything that is being held, Asta is failing miserably at. Like, there's this part where these birds are released before the actual event begins, and depending on how many birds land on these people, depends on how low their magic is. And some people, they only have like 1 or 2 land on them. Of course, Yuno doesn't have any land on him. And then you got Asta, who like, he has 20 birds landing on him. And he ends up like, there's this broom flying event that he can't even get the broom in the air. There's all these kind of events that he is just completely failing at. And eventually we get to the final event where it's these 2 people going against each other using their magic to see how strong they are. And this one guy, he sees Asta, and he's being like a total brown noser and suck up to Asta through the entire thing before the fight. Like, he agrees to fight Asta because no one is having compassion and wanting to fight someone without magic. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, bro. I'm totally gonna go easy on ya. I mean, I'm nervous about this too. I can understand if you're super nervous about it. And it turns out to be this whole ruse. This guy, he starts going hard as he can on Asta, just to showing that he can beat up on this wimp. And he ends up creating this shield. And Asta, his grimoire finally appears, which has this black clover on it, the name of the show. And he pulls out it's Claymore. And he smashes the knight's shield, and it just, all the head of the guilds are like, whoa, this kid is crazy strong. And yeah, that kind of like gives Asta a little advantage that he's been able to impress the leaders of these guilds. And it's awesome what goes on from that point on. Asta, he's able to convince this one member of the guild, Black Bulls, the leader, that he should be able to join at least one guild so he can prove himself strong enough to be the Wizard King. And the guild member's like, ha ha ha, I like you, kid. Come and join us. We're the worst of the worst, but you're gonna fit right in. So Asta's time with the Black Bulls is great. Like, there's this main character, Noelle. She's freaking hot. And, like, the way that she interacts with Asta is pretty great. Like, there's this one scene where they're riding on the broom with, this one wizard that can control fire. And Asta, he grabs on too tight onto Noelle, and she knocks him off the broom, and this guy's like, what are you guys doing back there? And he uses the broom to do a nosedive, catches Asta at the last minute. It's pretty great. And Noelle's just like, ha, serves him right for grabbing at me. Like, Noelle's a bitch, but you gotta love her because she's a funny bitch. So the reason that I love Asta so much is just because he's a kid that never gives up. He may see his flaws, he knows their flaws, but he's like, I don't care. I'm gonna push my way through these flaws. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be the greatest person anyone has ever seen in this area. Just watch me and I'll do it. Just his optimism is what I love about this character. And when his strength fully shows, he's a great character. I love that he cares about his teammates. I love that he never gives up no matter what. He's just a great character all in all. That's why he takes number 2. And taking in number 1, I feel like if you've seen any videos of anime on this channel, you would know this about me. Number 1 has got to be Izuku Midoriya. I love Izuku Midoriya so much. Just his optimism about everything. Like when he was a kid, him and Bakugo, like Bakugo was always improving, his quirk was developing, and Midoriya, he wasn't jealous or anything. He's just like, oh, that is so cool. I can't wait to get my quirk, Bakugo, so I can be as good as you. And even when Bakugo is just being a complete asshole to Deku, Midoriya he kind of just grins and bears it. Like, he knows that at this point there might not be much he can do, but if he works hard, if he studies other heroes, there could be a chance that he can be a hero, and he can actually accomplish his dream of what he wants to do with his life, which is something that I think is really cool. Not only is the attitude that Midoriya has of never giving up, being this hero, being the greatest person that he can be no matter what, something that's super inspirational to me, but I love the journey that he goes on through the anime. You know, in the first season we got this weakling who when he first gets this power, he can't really control it, he's always getting hurt. But as the series goes on, he's learning to control this power, he's going through all these things, he's fighting all these villains, like at the UA, he's fighting all these different villains through the series. Then in like the third season, he's fighting this one villain named Muscular that he learns to beat by controlling his power. Even though he gets super hurt, he beat the villain. And then the way that he matures through the series is great. His attitude of never giving up is something to look to everyone that should look forward to, because it's something that we should copy in life. If we have a dream, just don't let anything disrupt us from that dream. Just be a Izuku Midoriya and chase after that dream. That's what I love. That's basically the message of Izuku Midoriya's very being, which I think is great. What I love about Midoriya as well is that he has more than one power. Like, the power that he gets through one of the main characters of the show, it is basically called this one power, but it's like a combination of all these different powers from all these different users of that one power. Like, throughout the series, Izuku, he learns different things. Like, there's this one power that he can use to float. There's this one power that he can use to basically be Spider-Man. There's this power that gives him super strength. It's just, all these powers are combined into one, which at the beginning of the series is why he's getting hurt so much. But he's learning to make the power his own, so he can use this power to take on all these different kinds of villains without getting hurt. And it's great to see. It's just amazing to see how strong he's getting and all these different villains he's taking on. Plus, just to see his heart and personality never change, always caring about people, considering everyone is friends. That's why I think he's number one. He's just a good person all around. He's my favorite character. Anyway, those are my top 5 favorite heroes from these different animes. If any of the animes that I talked about are one of your favorites, please leave that in a comment. Also comment what your favorite hero is from, what your favorite anime is, or any anime you watched. Anyway, this comes to the end of the series anime for this month. I hope you liked it. I enjoyed filming these videos. Please, if you like this video, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's all I got for you. We'll see you next time.